Are you tired of seeing your child overthinking every little detail? They're consumed with worry and by the what ifs. And imagine a life where you and your child can navigate through all of life's challenges with clarity and confidence. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. We're going to offer you some simple yet powerful tips and techniques of things that you can do to help you and your child stop that cycle of overthinking. So, firstly, let's really get an understanding of what overthinking is. Well, overthinking in its simplistic terms is when we repeatedly dwell on a worry or a situation that's causing us to feel anxious. It can involve endlessly rehashing past events or maybe worrying constantly about a possible future event. For kids, this could be worry around schoolwork, it could be worry around social situations. For adults, it can be worrying about absolutely everything, something that's going on in your present, something that you're worrying about in the future. And it's replaying this same story over and over in your mind. Now, in adults, overthinking may manifest itself with insomnia, not being able to sleep. It could be anxiety. Overthinking can even lead on to depression. And for kids, it could be more around restlessness or them suffering with tummy aches or headaches, or maybe them saying that they don't want to go into school or they don't want to attend certain social events. Now, overthinking can be really harmful for our emotional and our mental health because, as we know, when we overthink things, we actually stop ourselves from taking action and doing the things that we want to do. It all starts with our thoughts. We have a thought which leads on to a feeling. When we feel something, we're likely to act in a positive or a negative way. And based on our actions, be it positive or negative, we get our results. So if overthinking is negative, we're likely to feel really uncomfortable in our bodies, which leads on to us not taking the right action, which means we're not getting the results that we want, which then goes back into that thinking cycle because we're not getting the results. So you can start to see this spiral of overthinking and how it plays out in our life in a negative way. And that's why it's really important that we look at things that we can do to stop the overthinking cycle, not only for us as parents or adults, but also for our children. So one of the things that us parents can do, that we can also share with our children, but that's really just becoming more mindful and practicing mindfulness. I know for myself, when I start the cycle of overthinking, if there's a thought that comes in that's negative and it starts spiraling out of control, and I'm starting to then imagine all these worst case scenarios, one of the first things I do is I go to my breathing. I will do a bit of meditation and I will try and just get myself focused and centered on my breath. We always share with parents, teachers, and carers via the M.Y.T.E program. One of the first things we tell them to do is when feeling stressed, go straight to your breath, because that's the first place that we can go to that really calms down our nervous system and creates some form of internal balance. And when we're feeling like we have control and we're feeling that balance, we're able to respond in a much more positive way. So mindfulness is something that not only you can do as a parent, but you can share and encourage your children to do as well. And that simply is slowing down your breathing and focusing on your breath to get yourself grounded in the moment and to become present. Also, having a sort of structured daily routine can really help adults and children when it comes to overthinking. When we have that predictability, it really helps us to dissolve any mind clutter or overthinking of all these different things that we want to get done, or that we want to achieve in the day. So having a schedule so you know exactly where you are and exactly what's coming up can really help us to limit the overthinking and just provide some structure, and a bit more certainty for our day ahead. Another great technique to help overcome overthinking is to encourage open communication and to create a really safe space where, as a parent and as a child, you can share your thoughts and feelings and what's going on in our minds and in our bodies. We know as adults that when we have someone close by that we can open up to and that we can talk to about our concerns and our worries and our anxieties, it lessens the burden and it can just make us feel so much better when we get what's going on inside our head out and we're able to talk to someone that's really open to listening to what we have to say, that isn't judgmental, and that will support us with where we are in the moment. There's another video that I've created here on this channel about open communication and promoting that with your child, and I'll share the link to that video below this video. So what are some of the techniques we can share with our children to help them if they're struggling with an overthinking mind? Well, firstly, breathing is a great technique. And the 4-7-8 breathing technique is fantastic to help children if they're becoming very anxious with an overthinking mind. To perform the 4-7-8 technique, you breathe in for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 7, and you breathe out for a count of 8. Also, positive affirmations. You can encourage your child to use positive affirmations to counter any negative thoughts. So affirmations like, I am capable, I can handle this, I can do it. Practicing positive affirmations can counteract the negative thoughts that fuel overthinking. And another thing you can do to support your child if they're overthinking is to engage in some creative activities. Creative activities is a great outlet for kids to express their thoughts and their feelings. Encouraging them to draw, paint, or read stories is a great therapeutic way to encourage them to express their worries. You could also set aside some allocated time throughout the day or the week where you sit down and you have a conversation about what's worrying your child, what's going on for them, if they've got any concerns, or if there's anything that's causing them to feel anxious in any way. Setting aside a certain amount of time to have these conversations is really powerful. And once that 15 or 20 minutes is up, you make a pact to shift to a more positive activity. And this really helps in compartmentalizing their worries without letting them build up over time and then consume their whole day or their whole week. Another great technique that you and your child can take advantage of is journaling. Sometimes when we've got lots of things going on inside our head and we're overthinking them, it can become so worrisome that we can't seem to see any light at the end of the tunnel. We can't seem to see a way out of this issue, this concern, this fear that we have. And journaling can be a great way of helping us get everything that's going on inside our head out and on paper. Because sometimes just by writing it down, we can see it more clearly. And this really helps and encourages self-awareness. And again, encouraging self-awareness is so powerful when it comes to overthinking, because with increased self-awareness, we start to understand ourselves so much more. We start to understand the things that trigger us and make us really start to overthink in the first place. And if we're aware of what those things are, we then have the ability to put steps in place to manage our reactions, avoid unnecessary stress, and develop healthy coping mechanisms. So I hope these techniques have helped you. And if you do use them yourself or with your children, please do share in the comments how you get on. Thanks so much for watching today, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to learn more about M.Y.T.E, our M.Y.T.E program and its profound toolkit, jump over to our website and get in touch with us. We are here to support you and the children in your care.